Community. Connection is where love and purpose live. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 226, excuse my throat, of our Supersize You annual challenge. Today and all this month, we're focusing on the area of spirituality. There's 9 life framework group areas that I talk about every year for at least 5 years now. I've shared these openly because there's a framework I use to structure my life and my businesses, and by life, I mean everything, all inclusive of that. And I started during COVID sharing them. I shared them before, but I really started framing them up and sharing them during COVID every other month in a 30+ day challenge because I needed to get up and keep moving during the pandemic. A lot of us were shut down and frozen out. Lucky for me, I was already online, so I could still do things. But the vast majority of people that I knew were isolated, outside of communities, feeling all of the negative feelings that come with isolation and being stuck on our own, which again, don't get me started on that. It's a time we'll look back on and say, oh my God, what were we thinking? Or why were we not thinking? Topic for another day. So our topic today obviously is community. Where is the power of community, and how do we tap into community in order to enhance our spiritual growth and development for ourselves as individuals, for us as members of any other community, for us as members of our family? How do we go about doing that? There are so many different ways to do that. Some people will join a religious organization. Some people will go to services every Sunday or Saturday or whatever day of the week is right for you. Some people will join communities that are more spiritual in nature. Some people will join groups on social media. There's a whole platform now called the School Platform, which I've been on for a year now. I went on there actually August 10th of last year. But also, when I got on there, I realized that I had been on there right in the beginning of the platform's formation in another community that has since been archived. But I was like, oh, that's why it was so easy to get in here. I've already been here before. So let's talk about this and let's get a little action plan together for what we're going to do to reinforce this in our life today. I must belong to at least 10, maybe more. I did not go count them this morning. Communities on the School Platform that are spiritual in nature. One's on hypnosis. One's more than one. I have a couple on hypnosis. I have some on burnout. I have some on spirituality. I have some on card reading because I love these belief cards, but they're not really tarot cards. They're just cards of motivation. I think I've shared before that I love the Hay House decks. You can get decks through Hay House for like $5 a couple times a year when they do their sales. And I have at least 25 of those different decks. The very first deck I got was Louise Hay at Barnes & Noble. And that probably dates me a little. So why do we care? Why do we want to be connected to communities? Well, I think that we've seen plenty of examples of isolation causing mental illness and mental breakdown and heinous behaviors that a person justifies in their mind, obviously at the time as being okay, or they wouldn't do it. I'm thinking mass murder, school shootings and things. Those people inevitably have been isolated and on their own, only interacting with the internet. That's going to happen when AI is the only thing that people interact with. That's even scarier to me than just the regular old internet. Not super scary, but something to be aware of and take note of and think about. If our best friend and only friend is an AI, we're in trouble, and we better walk outside, let the sun shine on our face, and find some real human beings to interact with. Oh yeah, that coffee feels so good on my throat. So community doesn't have to be a church. It doesn't even have to be a spiritual organization. It has to be other people that you connect with on a human level. Why? Because when we're in a group of positive, like-minded people, it brings out the positive and the awesomeness and the purposeful way to make the world a better place behavior in us. When we're in isolation, our subconscious and our minds will feed us up all kinds of garbage, a lot like AI, that we think is good for us or feels good when we read it, but it's actually not even accurate or true. We always want to be on the lookout for that, right? Is what I'm hearing or seeing even true or real? And how do I know? we used to be able to turn on the TV and you could watch the news and you'd know that's what was going on in the world. Those days are long since gone, and we have to actually pay attention to what we're paying attention to. We have to pay attention to what we're watching. We have to cultivate and curate the things that feed us in a positive way and build us up and help us to be better human beings, not all the nonsense and propaganda that gets presented these days in the media, on social media, all over the place. We're surrounded by it. It's why I encourage everybody to go outside and take a little walk in nature. So what are we going to do with this today? I challenge you to find one positive, in alignment organization or community outside of yourself to become a part of today. If you don't know what to do, go online, join the school community, and look for a free school on spirituality and the beliefs that are in alignment with yours, right? And then join one of those. They're free. Why would you not join one? It's probably why I have at least 10 of them, because it was free to join when I joined a year ago. And once you join a community at a certain level, unless you decide to upgrade, you're free forever. So that's why I have so many spirituality ones, because it was obviously a piece in me that said, hey, you need to explore and learn more about this, which was telling me that I was missing that connection, the community that I needed in order to continue to grow and scale and live in alignment with my purpose. And then I started my own community, right? That's how it always seems to go. So our action item today, find one community, or just tap right back into, maybe you already belong to a church. I've belonged to the Catholic Church for decades. Haven't been there in a long time, but I could tap back into that this week. Not committing to it, probably not going to do it, but it's an option, right? So pick your option, share in the comments below that you've done it or you've found a community. If you found a great community and you want to share it, just share the name of it and we can all go find it ourselves. But there are literally groups on Facebook. Right here on Facebook, there's groups. Right on school, there's communities and groups. There's groups would be the kind of the equivalent of a community. However, I find that there's not much community to most of the groups on Facebook. All right, I'm digressing. So do you have a spiritual community, or are you walking your path alone? Are you just trying to wing it and do it all by yourself? The vast majority of people are, and I'm going to give you a little secret. That's the hard way. We don't have to do everything alone. How has spiritual community supported you during difficult times? If it has, I know my sister, through her cancer journey, would not have had the experience that she had she not turned to her Bible and Jesus and the readings that she read and the things that she did. And then since then, she's been in Bible study now. It's been 10 years, I think, since she had her cancer scare. Not cancer scare, she almost died. And then what kind of spiritual community would you create if you could design the perfect spiritual community for your beliefs? And think about maybe you want to do that. If you do, hit me up. I'll tell you how to do it on school. I literally set my school up in like 5 minutes, I think. Now, I didn't do much with it for a year, but that was on me because I was going around and learning from everybody else. Huge opportunity for shiny object syndrome. Fair warning. All right. If I can help you in any way, reach out and ask. If you are looking for a certain type of community, can you please Google it and be a self-starter and look for one? Or if you'd like a recommendation, ask. Otherwise, go out and make it an awesome day. And I'll, of course, do it tomorrow.